This is for the fathers around the globe. We love you more than you'll ever know. For the strength you gave me, you're truly amazing. Happy Father's Day. Place you on the highest pedestal. We love you more than you'll ever know. You chose to man up, you chose to stand up. Happy Father's Day. From my first breath to my first steps, Pops, you took me under your wing. So I'm under a king, which means I was destined to achieve anything, realize any dream, success.
Hello anglers, this is Anglers 48 coming to you from Far Texas. Thank you for joining us on this episode. What's in store? We're going to be talking about some fishing spots in Brownsville / Port Isabel, guys. We're going to be talking about Gaiman's Bridge and El Puente de los Lobos. So also known as Jaime Zapata Boat Ramp in San Martin Lake. So these two spots are hot spots. Many people know about these spots. If you haven't heard about them, San Martin Lake, for example, is a kayaker's paradise. You're gonna notice as you're heading from Brownsville to Port Isabel, there's a boat ramp, and for the most part, you're looking at the mecca of oysters and mangroves. So yes, to start, I didn't start picking up interest in these fishing spots until about 2015. Many times, before that, I would venture through Highway 48, and I wouldn't think anything of it. It was just an avenue, a corridor to get to Port Isabel, right? To get to the island where we would like to do some fishing. And the backstory is I one time was invited to go do some fishing, and it was there at the Brownsville Chip Channel, and that was not my my kind of fishing. Any kind of fishing is good, but it really didn't, kind of like fill me, if you will. And it wasn't until I started exploring the surrounding areas that I found Gaiman's Bridge. I was pretty much where I fell in love with the area called the Bahia Grande. All right, the Bahia Grande. And this is a lagoon that was, how should I say, in the past, it didn't exist. I don't know if you guys can recall, there was a lot of danger for people traveling Highway 48. Sand would blow and accumulate on the roadway. The Bahia Grande, once again, that lagoon there on Gaiman's Bridge, it used to be just an open space, open land as far as the eye could see. And in 2010, how should I say, with a deep water horizon oil spill, they were saying that the fees and all the lawsuits, the Gulf Coast regions received I guess they received money, and with that money they were able to dredge the uh, the canal, right? They were able to dredge the canal from the chip channel into and across the Gaiman's Bridge. So instead of there being land, now there's a lagoon. And they also purchased acres and acres of land there from the Garcia family, and now it's a complete corridor. These are wetlands, and they house many endangered land, air, and sea creatures. Right. So back when I started fishing there, um, you would see that sign up there that it says it has a picture of a bird. It says no trespassing in a sense, but people were not really enforcing it. That is where this is the area, the Bahia Grande, was where I started catching more reds. I started having more success, and with plenty of reason. In this area, all the fish of different species migrate into this area, and they're breeding, and these fish are massive. And these reds, these trout, what are they known for? They're known for shallow water. For the most part, in this Bahia Grande, in this lagoon, you're looking at about maybe knee-deep water. In certain areas, you're looking at about waist. There's no really deep ends in this spot right here. Several times that I can recall, I got hit by the game warden, and if you recall, there is a little parking area, right, on your way back to Brownsville. There's a little parking area, and that's where I would, unload my kayak. That is where I would park and stuff like that. So game wardens would come. They would ask me how the fishing is. They wanted to, check my license, check my coolers, things of that nature. Not once did they ever say, you're trespassing, you're not supposed to be here. No. It wasn't until much later, right? And we're talking about maybe 7 years later, 7 years ago, that anglers were telling me, just be careful. People are getting fined, ticketed for trespassing. And that was kind of odd because once again, I'm there, I'm crossing the line, and game wardens wouldn't say a thing. So I believe it was a different department that was giving tickets, a different entity of law enforcement that was issuing citations. And I did ask a game warden that I saw at Arroyo, talked to her, I asked her, and she says, yes, can't fish beyond there's some, like a makeshift fence, can't fish beyond that. Kayaks are not allowed, period, in the Bahia Grande. And once again, it's because that area is protected. They're trying to protect the wildlife in there. Not necessarily, they're not trying to protect the fish, right? But they are trying to protect certain turtles that are in there, right? So, but this area right here, Gaiman's Bridge, is a super hot spot. If they're not fishing on the north side, they're fishing on the south side. And you pick a day and you see anglers shoulder to shoulder. Okay? And once again, it was because of what happened with the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. that the county got all this money and they started buying land and acquiring rights, right, to be able to keep people off. And once again, they call it a corridor that attaches to the Laguna Atascosa Wildlife Refuge. They're saying that it's a bird sanctuary. And they don't want anglers to be able to get in there and disturb, make a mess, things of that nature, trash, And this was my favorite spot. You could in that area you can break your personal best. My personal best trout, I got it. It's this place, the Bahia Grande. 32-inch trout. And I caught it with a 7-inch live mullet off a popping cork. It was unfortunate that I caught it maybe like at 1 a.m. on the kayak. Tony wasn't around, nobody was able to see it, but I took it, cooked it, and it was delicious. But once again, anglers here gotta abide by the law. They're ticketing. They don't want us there. I decided to find another place to fish. A lot of people, they fish along that dredge canal that leads to the chip channel, the Brownsville chip channel. The other day I was watching Mr. Leo, fishing with Leo. He was out there slinging his lines, and he was able to have a good day with his family. That's Gaiman's Bridge. The thing about the Bahia Grande, that little lagoon, is that it's infested with oyster beds. When the tide rises, you can't see it. When the tide when it's super, super low tide, all these oysters are exposed. And then it's very, very muddy. I remember some of those times. My legs, they can't take that kind of fishing. I would love to go and fish the way I used to, where I would get in the water and I was in half a foot of mud, but I didn't mind. Now, my legs can't take that. Every step, your foot is all the way in there. But the fishing is really good. Now, if you're fishing under the overpass, if you go by there after dark, you're gonna see all kinds of generators and lights and things. People are catching snook. People are catching bull reds. People are catching, black drum, flounder. They're catching double limits. See all that on Facebook. Mr. Rick Luna has been hitting that spot. He's been doing really well. Mr. Miguel, he's been out there slinging the line. I tried it a couple of times, some with Tony, some with, family members. It's not my cup of tea. Very, very good spot. You see family out there, moms, dads, kids. But you can't cross the fence line or the makeshift fence line. It's beautiful. Beautiful out there. On bad weather days, people are still out there. People are still catching. It does get a little muddy though. Further down east, we have el Puente de los Lobos. Puente de Lobos, also referred to as Jaime Zapata Memorial Bridge and Boat Ramp. You have San Martin Lake, very, very popular. This is the Mecca lake for kayakers. You don't know where to launch your kayak? This is it right here. But it's also the king place for oyster beds. They are everywhere. And when there's oyster beds, you have all kinds of species. That's the good thing right here. All the species you can think of. Snook, braid, black drum, flounder, sheep's head. You're going to find them here. If you want a Texas Slam, here. If you want a limit, double limit, here. If you want a personal best record, here in San Martin Lake. I have been in San Martin Lake maybe about 3 or 4 times in my lifetime. There's no issues going into this area. No issues. Now, if you go out there, you gotta be careful for many reasons. Primarily, the current. There's a strong current out there. If you have a pedal kayak, you should be good because those tread water really well. If you have a wide kayak and you're paddling, that could prove a challenge. You are going to get a workout. I've gone paddling a couple of times there, and I felt that I wasn't gonna make it, because to be able to maneuver and beat that current, especially when the current is pushing you back in the morning, early in the morning, it's good. But by 10, 11, 12, if the tide is coming in, you're going to have a hard time paddling back out. It's tough. Now, a couple of times I went with my trolling motor. No problem with the trolling motor. Tony, one time, broke his prop. I'm telling you, oyster bits. He reversed on the trolling motor instead of going forward, and the prop broke. So I had to pull him out. And the thing is, I spoke to one of the game wardens. That game warden I was talking to you about, I think her name is Stephanie. She said that in that area, no motorized vessels are allowed. That includes trolling motors. I wasn't aware of that. And I was going to mention, I see, these crab fishermen. They're up and down with their boat. Crossing my fingers that I that I misunderstood her, or that she misunderstood what I was asking. But if I can't make it out there with my trolling motor, I won't even go to San Martin Lake. San Martin Lake, once again, has a lot of how should I say, little inlets, little pockets where you're gonna find so many fish that when you come out of there, it's gonna be like every day is a good catching day. But you just gotta be careful. And those clips that I put up there, that's something that you can look into as far as, if you want to try those out. Now, I personally have ventured opposite of San Martin Lake just to try out the chip channel, try the entrance to the chip channel. But from what I have experienced out there, it's no success. All the good fishing is right there by the pillars and into San Martin Lake. I have worked the shoreline of the chip channel, right? No success. Tried lures, tried shrimp, and haven't had any success heading towards the chip channel. Now, for anglers that love fishing, right there around the boat ramp, you got to be careful. You're going to be losing a lot of line. There's a lot of oyster beds, like I mentioned, and sometimes the tide will come up really, really high, and the water goes over the bank, and it looks really, really beautiful, right? But when you're trying to reel your line back in, you get snagged. Just so many oysters out there. But top waters, free line shrimping, right? Where when you put no weight on your hook, just a simple hook with the shrimp, that shrimp will stay up there until there's a hit. But these are some pretty good places to fish. It's a Sunday morning here, guys. Not exactly sure if I am going to upload the video today. I may upload it today, but I do have other projects that I'm working on as far as video projects like this one. I haven't been able to hit certain spots that I've wanted to in Port Mansfield. So yeah, this is what we're looking at as far as the weather. But it is somewhat deceiving. Not long ago, I got an alert, right? I got an alert of that red flag warning. So it may be beautiful here, right, as I'm looking out there. But when you're out in the water, it's a different story. winter. Hey, come on, you can leave now. We're getting into spring, and there's a saying in Spanish, right? There's a saying in Spanish. What do you think about it? Febrero loco y marzo otro poco, right? Now 2021, that was pretty much the whole year for the most part. 2021 was terrible winds, strong winds, very hard to get out there, very uncomfortable. And I'm sure that there are spots where you can fish where the wind isn't a problem. So I'll leave you with that, guys. We'll see what next week brings. I have a fishing video coming up. I'm not exactly sure which one I want to put up first, this one or that one. I may upload this one today, depending on the editing and all that, guys. And then I'll put that one. But I greatly appreciate each and every one of you tagging along on these podcasts and fishing adventures. I couldn't do this without you guys. And once again, follow me on Facebook. I'm a member of about 12 fishing platforms. I'm gonna name a few: Texas, Deep South Texas Fishaholics, Texas Saltwater Fishing, 956 Kayaking, Canaleros and 956, and so many others. Arroyo City Cabins. Check them out, guys. So many other anglers out there putting up fish, putting up different adventures. And if you haven't subscribed, help anglers out. Hit the subscribe button. We want to continue to make the channel grow. Right now, we're looking at 3,600 subscribers and going strong. And until next time, from far Texas on the Anglers 48 show, Anglers 48 signing off. Thanks for watching.